This is the sign up form builder. And I'm going to start two things off. I want to show you a couple ways that you can build forms here. But before we do that, uh, we're big believers in the importance of an email list. If you are growing an audience anywhere, you want to make sure that you own that relationship with your audience. So it's great to build a social media following. Today, I would say it's for most of us really necessary to help us find new audience is to participate on social media somewhere. But you cannot, it's like irresponsible to let that be where your audience lives full time, because at any time your social media platform can take away that connection to your audience from you. Like, your relationship with your audience should be between you and them, so they can manage. If they want to stop hearing from you, they should be able to unsubscribe or opt out. And when they want to hear from you, they should be able to tell you, hey, I want to hear from you. I'm going to subscribe. Cool. So email, it's really important. And it is not as hard as folks might make you believe. It's more difficult to build an email audience than it is to build a social audience, because algorithms don't exist that will prioritize your content. But if you pair a social media audience that you're providing value to with an offer to give them additional value if they sign up for your email list, then you have a relationship that you own between you and your prospects and the people who like your stuff.
Yeah, and like, just to reiterate that real quick, like, there's a direct line from email to like revenue for your business. Social has its place in like awareness and like maybe interest, but it's not as effective at converting. So like, yeah, it's harder to grow your list, but you can actually get a return on that and build long-term relationships. Unlike maybe MySpace. Thanks, Vinny.
Oh, and pizza therapy. That's probably the best username I've seen in a long time, from Hawaii. Thanks for joining us.
Like, pizza therapy's gotten me into a lot of trouble. I don't know.
Yeah. Midnight Domino's pizza therapy is my weakness.
Late night. When did I order that?
So,
all right, builder.
So like, I'm going to kick off a sign up form creation here just to show you how easy it can be. There are a bunch of different ways that you could build sign up forms or start out a sign up form. You can write your own prompt. We're going to be doing that later. But to start, we're going to use this guide. And using this guide, we give you some ways that you can hopefully build something easily that solves a problem for you when it comes to audience building. So I want people to sign up for my newsletter. I can shuffle this to say like a free download if I have a lead magnet, free guides, early access to something. But let's say my newsletter. Let's go back to that. My newsletter with a form that stays fixed at the top or bottom. I can pick from a bunch of different types, or I could fill something in there if I want to. Let's say floats as a button in the corner and collects name, email, and for now, we're just going to do name and email. And sure, builds urgency with a live countdown timer to Friday at noon Eastern, which is when we'll be doing our next shift. Now I'm just going to hit build my form, and it's going to do the thing that many of these AI tools do, AI-powered tools do. It's going to jump in and start creating for me. And it's going to tell me like what's going on. I'll say one of the things we're excited about this, and just like we've talked about with tools for audio and video, is that this produces meaningfully better results than just going to Claude or ChatGPT, because it's tuned for the specific use case. Like it creates AWeber forms, so it knows how to do that. So you'll get tags and custom fields and all the stuff that is really helpful for email marketing. And it knows what we've learned over the past 26 years of working in email marketing and audience building about what makes good forms. You can go off script if you want to, but by default, all of that learning is built into the tool itself.
Yeah, it's an expert form builder. It doesn't just build the form. It knows what works.
Yeah, and this is cool. Like, I have my little form. If I X out of it, I have this button. Sorry, my live chat button is hanging out there. This is perfectly serviceable. It's a great little form, and I didn't really have to do anything to it. Yeah. But I'm going to install, and I'm going to show you this on a number of different forms that we make, just to show how easy this level of creation is. So I have this web page, for a little tool that I use for surveys and my email newsletters. And it doesn't have any forms on it. I'll refresh the page. Oops, I'll just refresh the page without that. I can add a little thing to my URL that shows me what forms I have installed. This is super helpful when you're trying to figure out what form is or should be showing where. And then I can click in here. It says that my snippet is working and I have forms, but none of them are displaying. And it tells me why. Like this form only displays if every page load is in the URL. That's all cool, but let's get this displaying. So all I'm going to do is hit publish, and I'm going to have this display on backtalk.to. You can actually visit.
We're still on the Backtalk page, just so you know. I don't know if you want to show the settings there.
So here, backtalk.to, and I don't want it to show it on every page. I only want to show on certain pages. So I'll say only certain pages and pages that contains tutorials. That's it. I already hit publish while I wasn't sharing, so sorry. So that is now published. And now when I refresh this page, it should display for me. Moment of truth. Ready?
You're doing it live.
Hey, would you look at that?
Boom.
Right here in the corner. This is a live page. So if you were to go to backtalk.to/tutorials, you would see this form. You could submit to it. And that is really neat. And if I ever need to debug, I can click in here and see that I have one form displaying here because it includes the tutorials URL. That's so stinking easy compared to what you used to have to do in many tools where all of this was handled through code or through some clunky technical thing. All I did have to do was install the snippet for this one time. So you can see that over here. You just have to get your snippet for triggering code installed on your site once, and then I never have to worry about it again.
Yeah, and like I think you and I were talking about this like pre-show. I think that's like seriously hidden value, because I know like as we've been playing with this tool, it's like, and we're going to get into this a little bit more on the show here, just like it's like that was a nice traditional form. Yeah. Beautiful polish, high fidelity, animates in nicely, nice little button to click, all those things. But as you can see in some of the template examples there, there's so much more you can do. But I think kind of obscured value because of just how cool the design is how freaking easy it is to publish these things. Like what Chris is saying is like there's a code snippet that you install on your site once, and then forever ever after that, to publish a form on a page or site-wide or whatever, you do all of that like no code in AWeber. And that's just incredible. Cause like, I know for me, that could still be like a lot of people, that could still be a blocker. It's like, okay, cool. I made this amazing form, but now I've got to go like install this code and whatever. Like it's a one-time snippet, and then everything just gets like inserted from the AWeber side. Super cool.
It's awesome. But so that was a really simple form. You can also choose from one of these tons of templates that have been added. Let's pick a more engaging one. I'm going to use this one that looks like it is a multi-step form where every question is on a different phase of a cube. So as I'm filling this in, I'd say Chris, it's my name, got my email, and then last one, any thoughts that I want to share, we'll say, oops, it just refreshed because it's importing for me. But it rotates this cube, which is pretty darn awesome. Yeah. Let's go through, while we're just waiting for this to finish up, let's go through and I'll walk you through the publish process again. So I wanted to display on Backtalk. I only want it to display on pages that contain tutorials. And then I can further target too. I could say, show it to someone every time they visit, or once per visitor, or once per session, so it shows more frequently per visitor, but not every time. And I can also show it on a schedule. So it'll show for every visitor once every 7 days. So I can get in front of folks again, but not overwhelm this every time they check back. But I'm going to put this as every visit. And then the last one is if you wanted to have specific forms for desktop versus mobile, you can do that as well in the device section. But let's go ahead and publish this off. Oops, publish this, hit that. And now, this is a really cool thing. So conversationally, that form includes anything you want me to know. custom field value, which is that last question. That doesn't exist on my list right now, but the tool is smart enough to look at my list and say, okay, this form has this type of question that doesn't exist. Do you want me to create it? And that's what it's asking for right here. So I'll say add fields and publish. Now, when somebody fills that out on my site, they'll be able to fill in anything else they want me to know, and it'll just show up. So I go back to Backtalk and refresh the page.
That's awesome.
Wouldn't you know? There's the form. It's awesome.
And like, it's such cool high fidelity polish. Like, you know what I mean? Like that I'm not untechy, but I mean, I don't know. I couldn't have made that.
I wouldn't have made this either.
I don't know how long I would have had to teach myself what, Yeah,
I'm fairly techie, and I wouldn't see, because it's what's kind of neat about this is, for some people, it lets you do things that you couldn't before because you didn't have the technical knowledge. You might have had a great creative idea, but you didn't have the technical knowledge. And then for other people who had the technical knowledge but don't have the time, because like, even if I could have done this, even if I had wanted to do this, life is so busy, I might not have had the time. But the builder makes it actually worth the time to do this, which is really cool.
Yeah, and we talk about that. Like, you said at the top of the show, like, social has algorithms to like naturally give reach, but it's going to be like pretty superficial audience for the most part. Email is harder to build, but more engaged and more productive. Like, that disconnect between like getting people to sign up is a high converting good form on a good landing page or on a good site. Like, this makes it so easy, and you can just explore with it. There's the templates, there's the fill in the blank, like Chris showed, and I know you're going to get into this too, but like, it's conversational. You can just prompt. Here you go. I mean, I would say this too. We just got notified. It's available to all AWeber now. So if you have AWeber, jump in there and try it out and like just put it to the test and see what you can come up with. If you don't, sign up for a free account and give it a go. It's so cool. But like, it's just so limitless in terms of what it can do.
Yeah,
we get lost playing in it, honestly.
Yeah, it's super cool too. Like, I'm going to walk through some full prompts to generate completely custom forms now, because there are lots of great templates here, and those templates are an awesome way to get started. But I want to show you the wide variety of things that you can do conversationally. Yeah. So I'm asking it to build me a 2D side-scrolling platform that someone needs to collect 3 coins hidden across the level before the sign-up form appears. And it gives some detail about how scrolling should work, how controls should work, how sprites, the actual things in the canvas itself, should work, and then how the form unlock works. So this is pretty wild. I'm not going to make you wait on this. This is what it generated for me. So, and I'm not going to play it in the builder either. I'm going to play it on my website so you can see that this actually works. So I'll turn that on. I'll make sure that it's showing on Backtalk tutorials. So now I'm going to, whoops. This is that live site. If you open that right now as you're watching it, you'll be able to see it there too. But here I am. So I'm playing this with my keyboard on my actual site. Oh, I fell down that pit. I got to start over. This is awesome. So I've got 1 coin. There's my 2nd coin.
I just dropped the link too. Anybody can honestly click that and go play this right now.
Yeah. There's my 3rd coin. So that is a playable game that is also a form on my website. And just to show you this, game form at weber.net. Hit that. I'm subscribed, and in case you don't believe me, here is my here's my subscriber list in AWeber, Chris TV, plus game form at AWeber.net. This is the subscriber. It just came through that game on my live website.
And then like on that form, you could even have it just like give a confirmation on that same page too, right? You just have to prompt it to say
yes. Yeah. Like, and I'm going to show you that in just a second too.
Oh, love it. Awesome.
Yeah. So like, let me fire up another prompt. So this one, that is a really fun one, and I hope that it opens your imagination to the types of things that you can build with conversational tools like this. You can make playable games. Somebody made a first-person view where you had to walk through a maze and find your way to the form before you could fill it out. I made one that was like a puzzle where you had to assemble the form with your mouse before you could figure it out.
There's a template where you have to answer trivia before it shows you the form. And like, look, obfuscating the sign up form may not actually be the best advice, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to make it super hard for people to fill out your form.
Yeah,
but that's right. This example is an example of something that you might actually want to do because it's wild. So here I'm asking for it to create a full page takeover sign up form, something that'll cover the whole page like a welcome mat, with a multi-step personality quiz. The goal is to segment my subscribers by personality type based on their answers. The quiz should have 4 to 6 questions, each with 3 to 4 answer choices. Design it so that each answer choice maps to one of the following personality types: visionary, connector, executor, analyst. Each answer's choice should apply the corresponding personality type as a tag. This is where it actually becomes useful. Yeah. So people are going to fill out this quiz. It's going to give them a personality type based on their answers, and it's going to apply a tag in AWeber based on that personality type. So then I can use that for segmentation. So I can send people specific emails based on their personality type. I can use it for automation to trigger specific welcome campaigns for people based on their personality type, and I can use it for dynamic content in a message, an individual message. So I could say people who have visionary as their personality type, promote my service with these benefits. For people who have analyst, promote it this other way. That's all stuff that you can do in AWeber pretty easily, but you need to have those tags set. The form, if all goes according to plan, is going to do that for us out of the box. Mm-hmm. And here, to Jesse's point, at the end of the quiz, collect the subscriber's name and email before revealing their results. Use an engaging conversational tone. So this should give them their results on the page. That is what I'm expecting. So when I run that, I get this form. And again, I'm going to demo this on the page, so there's no tomfoolery. It's all happening live. So if you're playing the game, I apologize. I'm about to take it away.
It's about to go away. I hope you enjoyed it.
But now I'm going to target this to tutorial again. Save settings.
We'll be able to go to that same link that's in the chat.
Yes.
Once this is published.
Yep. And I just turned off the game, so that's going to stop showing. And I'm going to turn on this form. So that should all be working for me. Now I'm going to go back to my tutorials page, and I'm going to refresh. Oh, didn't display. Why is that? Sorry, give me 1 sec to figure out why this is. Oh, I think I might have had the wrong path. No, that's not it. So this is where that debugging tool I was telling you about is helpful. So I can just put hello AWeber, hello AWeber at the end of my URL. And I can see that it is supposed to be showing me the form for unlock your personalities now. But for some reason, it is not. Oh, it put it on the bottom of the page for some reason.
So that's an opportunity to reprompt it and say, like, don't put this at the end of the page, have it be a full screen takeover,
Yeah. And you know what? Let's do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump back in here because this is, we have said this every single time so far, and I've got to say it again because it's the most important thing about working with any AI tool, whether it's our sign-up form builder or a video generator or something. If it doesn't get it perfect the first time, that isn't the end. It doesn't mean it can't do it. It just means that it needs more direction.
And we've said this too, like any of these tools that we've talked about on the show, think of them like a human assistant. And like, if they didn't come back with what you were expecting the first time, what would you do? You wouldn't be like, all right, that's as good as it gets. No, you would go back to that assistant and be like, here's actually what I want to see. Here's some feedback and iteration. It's the same thing.
Oh. So I told it to, instead of having it appear at the bottom of the page, have it appear at the top of the page. I think I gave it the wrong direction because all it did was change the alignment.
Right?
So I'm going to try this again. I'm going to
Lesson
say,
B in AI prompting. Be very explicit.
yeah. No, I didn't mean align the content in the container. I meant when it's embedded on a web page. Right now, it's appearing after all of the page content. When I scroll to the bottom, I want it to appear at the top. So I'm going to just let it run. And while we're doing this, I don't want you to sit and wait, but it is on my page. It's all the way at the bottom, but it's at my page. Let's go through this process. So when you have a free weekend, what are you most likely to do? I'm going to dream up a new project or side hustle for sure. In a group project, you naturally gravitate towards coming up with big ideas, keeping everyone motivated and aligned, making sure deadlines are met, or reviewing the details and catching mistakes. I think this is what I like doing most, is the idea side. Your ideal vacation looks like an adventure somewhere totally off the beaten path, a group trip with your favorite people, well-organized itinerary hitting the highlights, or a deep dive into the local history and culture. It's a group trip with my favorite people. That's me. When facing a big decision, you typically trust your gut and take the leap, talk it through with people you trust, make a quick call and adjust as you go, gather all the data before committing. I think I may make a quick call and adjust as I go. Big iteration guy. What energizes you the most? Imagining future possibilities, meaningful conversations, checking things off your list, or solving complex problems? You know what? I think it's actually meaningful conversations when I think about myself as a person. So Chris is my name, and Chris plus personality at Chris B at AWeber.net. So it's fingers crossed, if all went according to plan, it subscribed me, but it kept me on the page. It didn't redirect me, and it told me my personality type. So I am apparently a visionary. No surprise. Let's see if I actually got added to my account. I did. Chris TV plus personality. That's me. And then when I look at this, yeah, you can see I have the tag personality visionary, which again, I can use for automation, for segmentation, for personalization.
You can send a automated workflow for that specific personality type that kicks off on that tag now.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's the uses are truly endless. I think I lost my thought there, but I was going to say Dave, Miss J, Pizza Therapy, Beverly, Camp Vinny, everybody here. I would love to get like just an example. Like if you have a website that you really like, if you have an idea of a form that's just like off the wall, I don't know, any kind of inspiration. I would love to just take a real world example and just run it through this and stress test this thing and see what it can give us.
Yeah. While we're waiting, though, I did want to show Robin is one of our favorite, most engaged audience members. And Robin is a realtor in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize she wasn't going to be here today, but hopefully
traveling today.
Yeah, she'll watch after the fact. I took her website and I created 2 different forums for her. So she's a realtor. She serves people who want to live in a really beautiful, relaxing, just kind of wonderful place
environment.
Yeah. So what I asked for was a postcard aesthetic sign-up form referencing her actual website for styles. And I wish I had shown you the first version of it. It wasn't quite what I wanted it to show. So I asked it to make it look more like an actual postcard and make sure it had the aspect ratio, like the size of a postcard. And it gave me this form, which is really awesome. Like you could argue, this is not terribly readable text. I would probably change this. Actually,
sure.
Change this text to something more readable, but without losing the character. Then I'll just copy that text in. It just boggles my mind how easy this is still. So it's going to do its thing. Hopefully it updates the actual text. No. Get the font
legible instead of
Yeah.
readable, maybe.
Specificity. This
Specificity.
is all about being clear with what I want. So when I said the actual font, it did. That's way more
There you
readable.
go. Yeah.
I'm going to just show you one little thing. If you do want to make specific edits, you can click on this edit button here, and I can go in here and I can like add the text. So if I wanted to make this an exclamation point instead, I can.
Ooh, what if I bet you could prompt it to make it so you could click to flip the card over and see like a picture of the beach.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Do it.
Okay, add a button that when clicked flips the postcard over and shows one of the pictures from my website as the front of the postcard. Include a button to flip back. Okay, that's pretty awesome. While we're waiting for it to do this, the other one I created, somebody had something, or I saw in the chat was like, you can make quizzes. You 100% can make quizzes. But, and this isn't quite a quiz, but it's another thing that Robin could do as a sign-up form for her site.
It's the same framework as a quiz, and the personality quiz that you just did. Like,
yeah.
And before we jump into this, like real quick, I love that Miss J called that out, because it's like, it used to be like, let me find another platform that I can integrate with my email platform that allows me to do a quiz and and then and it's like, this is fully integrated. This is within your email platform. Like there's no connectors, you know, like fully connected out of the box. And then the other cool thing too is like you and I, Chris, like on the AWeber side, we do a workshop about like the 5 elements of a high converting landing page. And we talk about minimally viable fields in your form. Like the fewer forms, the less friction, the more likely people are to submit and complete, you know, fully complete their submission. So we usually recommend like name, email, submit button. You can get the rest of the info later. With some of these forms, it's so frictionless, like the one you're about to show, for them to give you that info up front. And frankly, it's kind of fun to interact with. So it almost entices engagement, that like you don't have to go, I'll learn more about them later. You can get a lot of that information up front without driving people away because they have to sit there typing all these answers into a form field or something.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, I got a little distracted with the other one we were working on. Give me just one sec. This is awesome. But sorry, I was distracted by how cool this thing is in a different chat. The way that this works is really straightforward. It's like the personality quiz. It's like the quiz use cases Jesse was talking about, where the first step is just asks a prospect. This is like qualification. You know, you're trying to pre-qualify someone and understand what their interests are. What does their dream Mexico escape look like? What are they most interested in? This could be multiple questions or multiple options I could select, but right now it's just, what is the one thing? And I want, let's say I want a vacation getaway. And it's told me here, it's expressed back, you picked this, just so you know. If I want to go back, I can. But when I fill this out, it's going to do the same thing as the personality quiz and apply that tag to me. So then Robin could know not just who is in her audience, but at a high level, what their priorities are. So again, she can send them messages that align with their priorities.
Well, I was going to say, and not just know what their priorities are, but have a workflow for vacation getaways that kicks off based on this entry. So immediately she's providing relevant value and not waiting to be able to like deliver that value.
Yeah.
And there was no friction in that. They clicked like a pretty button that like had a nice little micro interaction when you hovered over it, and then they put their email in. That's like incredibly be able to have that kind of like ability to segment and tailor your content without driving people away with like this massive, IRS application form.
Yeah, it's wild. So Jesse asked, we had this postcard and he had a great idea for like a quote unquote feature request to be able to flip it over and see the front. It's added a button, but who knows? That's kind of complex when you think about it. Where else do you have a form builder that you can go in and create this completely arbitrary behavior that wasn't part of the form type? It's just an idea, a creative idea that Jesse had. You want to see if it works? I'm about to push the button.
I'm afraid to.
Okay. So this is Robin's postcard.
Stop.
That works pretty
So cool.
darn well.
That's so fun.
Awesome.
That is so cool.
That's so rad.
I mean,
did
like,
we have any ideas from anybody watching? Like any just completely off the wall idea you might have for a form? I want to push to this thing.
Yeah,
know?
Michael, and this may not be totally off the wall, but I think a really cool use case. Michael said, I'd like to see how I can make a quiz or something to get people on the email list for my podcast. I hope you do share your URL because we could actually use, that as a source. But yeah, and then Robert asked if we could share the card.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna turn it on the backtalk.to/tutorials so you can see it. Actually, I'll go to settings. Shoot.
So again, that link here will be in just a moment. You'll be able to see, or maybe now you'll be able to see that live.
Yeah, it should be working now.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's not flipping though.
Oh, it won't flip.
Well, this again is an opportunity to fix this. So we're just going to go back here. We'll say the flip postcard button isn't working when I actually have it embedded on my site.
All right, Rara had one off the wall. Can we animate someone walking into our newsletter? I don't know what it'll come up with.
We can try.
We can give it a prompt. Okay.
So let's see. I
don't know, something like, a newsletter form, and when they submit, people start walking in.
How about this? How about we do like a version of this that starts as a simple building storefront. A person is animated walking into, opening the door and walking into the storefront. When they do, a form shows asking for name and email. Let's try it. Okay, so this is not a ton of detail. And as we've said in the past, the vaguer your prompt is, the more creative the tool that you're working with, whether it's ours or someone else's, will be. So it'll probably do some wilder things, and we'll probably have to do some follow-up. The more specific you can get with your prompt, the more likely it is to match what you have in your head. And I do something frequently with prompts for all these tools that we use, where if I only have a vague prompt, I'll take it to Claude first and describe what I'm trying to do. So I might write, actually, let's do that really quick so you can see what I'm talking about. So if I open up Claude and I want to try and make a great prompt, I'm going to say, I'm generating a sign-up form with AWeber's form builder. I need you to write me a better prompt for this general idea. And then I'll paste in what my prompt was previously. It's going to go through and update its stuff. Or it's going to go in and actually write a prompt. And it's giving me this as a full prompt. It gives some more detail. And while we're waiting for the other one to go, I'm going to kick this one off.
Rara asked, can we use Perplexity Computer?
Like the, is Computer their automated browser? Is that what it is?
I'm honestly, you know what? I'm not positive.
Can you give more detail, Rara, on what you're asking? Like how, what are you hoping to try and do?
And I know that, like, I just want to say too, because typically, like, Chris and I are very conscious, like the intent of this show is not to just speak AWeber, right? Like we want to really be translating everything happening in AI. But this is just such a fundamental like shift in the way that you create content. And like, I think it's important to explain too, like this is a new tool from the ground up that has all of these capabilities that are frankly limitless. A lot of other platforms are building like conversational AI form builders, but they're just a conversational layer like on top of their traditional form builder. So it has all of the same limitations. You can conversationally have it create what it was able to create before, but not beyond that. So you wouldn't be able to say, hey, make a postcard that flips around and stuff like that, because it would go, I have no functionality for that. So like, just, I think it's so fun and so worth playing with. Yeah, Perplexity Computer is their autonomous AI.
Yeah, it's like their thing that can. It's kind of like Claude Cowork. But and all of these other like smart automation tools.
Yeah, maybe
I guess you could. I guess you could maybe ask it. I mean, yeah, you could ask it to use AWeber, provided it had your login and everything, or had access to a session where you were logged in. I'm not sure what you would ask it to do. Maybe you would ask it a vague prompt and ask it to create it here. That's something you could ask it to do. Interesting question.
It might be like an unnecessary layer right now. I'm not sure. So Pizza Therapy, shout out, still greatest name.
Well, let's check this one out and see what it does. So I'm just going to refresh it. That is not a very nice looking house.
Oh my God, look at that wiggle.
Probably want to give it more detail, but I'll ask a vague prompt, get a weird response.
Yeah, I love that. But I mean, but still, an example of like it's like it wasn't like, no, I can't create. It went for it.
Yep.
Pizza Therapy asked, where on your WordPress site do you put the snippet? Do you put it on a page or post or both?
You would put it so. AWeber has a WordPress plugin that this is not yet compatible with, but will be soon. In which case, if you have the WordPress plugin installed, you won't have to worry about adding an additional script. It'll just work for you. If you want to use it right now, you would take this script and copy it into the actual source code of your site, into the actual code for your page, so the JavaScript would execute every time a page loaded. Or if you and that's what I would really advise you to.
WordPress, I think it would be your theme's header file, so that it like sits within the head tag, right?
Yes. Yeah. So you can do that now if you'd like, and if not, it is one of our top priorities to make sure that the WordPress plugin works seamlessly with this new builder. So you don't have to worry about installing anything. You just would activate the WordPress plugin, and then you could target on your site just like we do here.
Yeah. And Mark asked a similar question. Can we paste a form on my WordPress blog? I hope that answers that as well. Dave said, cough. This AI tool plus AWeber landing pages, cough.
Yeah, Dave, I think you're going to be excited about what's coming soon. You can build your way around making AWeber landing page adjacent things right now. Like, one of the neat things about this is that you have a published version of these forms that you can link directly to and view as a web page. But
so you could have it make a full page version, add essentially whatever content you want. You could kind of work around and pretty much build a landing page now, but that's not the future.
Yes, let me show you how the Claude prompt actually worked. So this is the Claude prompt. Better building, better animation. I could definitely improve this, but the person actually walked up to the door. I can click to enter, and there's a form for me to fill out. Specific design of it. The design part of me is like, oh, this needs work. But again,
But in terms of translating a more specific prompt, like that was a pretty solid result.
Yeah.
Jim asked, please review that procedure to post the code to a WordPress page.
Do you have a WordPress install that you can show this in, Jesse? I don't have one readily available.
I don't right now. I hate to admit it. I just really haven't been using it. But I'll tell you what, we can include that in an upcoming email and make sure that, either linked instructions or simple instructions are included in the newsletter. Shameless plug, go to aweber.com/shift and sign up for the newsletter supplement. If you're signed up, you got an incredible issue that Chris sent this morning. And we'll make sure to include more specific instructions for that snippet.
And just as a little bit of a teaser, if you see the emails coming from the Shift, they are pretty heavily designed. And I'm just going to tell you, I don't spend a ton of time in there fiddling with knobs and buttons and stuff. I might be using a different type of tool to create those emails. And that tool might be super easy to use to create stuff that I never would have made in the past.
And it might be coming soon to a home near you.
Yeah.
Miss J asked, could it work with Shopify? I don't know if does Shopify allow you to insert HTML?
I believe it does. You would just add the script to your Shopify site as well. I need to double check that, but I'm almost positive it does let you add scripts for form up or for sign up form display and stuff like that.
We can play with that and hopefully get you a direct answer on that too, Michelle. And Jim, he reiterated this is a great feature. We need to use it on our WordPress site. Just to reiterate what Chris said, we will share explicit instructions in the newsletter about how to manually install that snippet on your WordPress site today, so that you can begin to use it immediately. But in short order, it will also be compatible with our existing AWeber WordPress plugin. So if you have that plugin installed, once we're able to update that and you push the update, you won't have to do anything else. It'll naturally be inserted by that plugin into your site, and this will be fully functional. So, there's a slightly manual workaround in the interim, but there's going to be a fully automated installation of that script. So,
and the process for that is the same as for Shopify. You'll need to go into your theme settings, and we'll include a tutorial with screenshots and actually add the script to part of your template code, and then it'll just trigger, and you'll be able to show forms.
Everything else you do after that is in the AWeber backend. You don't have to mess with that script every time you make a new form or want to publish it or anything. So it's just kind of that one-time setup, and will be even simpler in short order. If you're using like Lovable or Replit or one of the conversational page builders, you can just give it conversationally. You can give it the snippet and say, insert this inside the head tag, and it'll do that for you.
And so I saw Camp Vinny say, I don't have any landing pages and don't see a need for them. I just make a page in my WordPress site by hand and add a sign up box. That is a perfectly fine way to do this. But I will still suggest that this is useful for you because it lets you very easily experiment with different types of forms and form content. We're running an experiment on the Shift landing page right now in AWeber where the numbers are still pretty early, but we're driving paid traffic to that site. And one variation is a standard inline form.
Traditional form.
Yeah, it's just on the page. People sign up. It's been working forever. And then in the other is a pop-up form. Let me just see if I can actually get that version to trigger for me. Yeah. So it's a pop-up form that has this kind of cool digital rain effect in the background. And so far, this version is getting 40% more signups than the traditional signup form we had.
Yeah, it uses an interrupt. Like you can't not acknowledge it. Even if you choose to dismiss it, you have to do, you know what I mean? Like it interrupts their consumption of the page, whereas the inline form just kind of sits there passively. So
and it's freaking cool too. Like the internet is so busy, it's hard to capture people's attention sometimes, you know? Like,
and then Michael said, do I have access to AI sign-up forms for a quiz for my podcast website? I didn't get to see if you dropped, I didn't see your URL, so I don't have that specifically. But Michael, like, yeah, you can go in today. It is currently available to any AWeber customer. If you don't have an account, sign up for free at aweber.com. And you can use this. And I would go to the Write My Own and literally just describe what you want. I want a sign-up form quiz for my podcast. Here's the website. Here's what it looks like. If you know specifically what you want, and Chris will do a maybe more generic version here, not knowing exactly, what your podcast is about or what you want to ask, but it will build it for you. And then you can iterate and until it's exactly what you want. I don't know what platform your website's on, but again, depending on, WordPress or another platform, you install that snippet and you're good to go.
So I'm just saying, like, make a quiz so I can effectively follow up with people about consulting services. Make sure to add a tag to someone based on each of their answers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, you know way more about your podcast and your business, so you would be able to put in much more information than I did there. But that's the whole prompt, and I feel pretty confident that for something like this, it's going to give me a result that is pretty darn good on the first pass. One big thing about this, maybe my most favorite thing about this that I didn't mention yet, is image generation is built right into this builder. So if I want to add images of something and I don't have an image handy, I can ask for an image to be created.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make you wait till this is done. So let me go to a different form that I have fired up.
And as we kind of begin to head towards the end here, not that we have to wrap up, but just I want to flag as well, like tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time, Alicia, another team member here, we're going to be doing an AWeber workshop that's heavily focused on the form builder. So if you want to come back and ask more questions, see more examples, watch what it can create and how you can implement it and make it, practically useful for you. Go to aweber.com/events and you can sign up for tomorrow's event there to get reminders and join us.
Yes, and that's going to be a blast. So while I'm waiting for this, so what I'm going to ask is generate an image of dogs doing yoga and replace the image in this form with it. So bam, I'll hit that. And now let's go check in on this podcast quiz form. Welcome to the team building quiz. Let's get started. How large is your team? Let's say 11 to 50 people. What's your role? I'm a team member. What's your biggest team challenge? Remote team cohesion or conflict resolution. Let's pick a different one. When do you need help? Oh, I need it right now. So my name is Chris. Chris TV plus podcast at aweber.net. Boom. So I'm subscribed.
And I'll say this too, and I don't know why it's just occurring to me with the code snippet. If anybody's having trouble with that, like reach out to our customer solutions team. They're here to help you get unblocked on those things, and they can help walk you through how to get that on your site. It's a one-time thing. They'll make it quick and easy and painless. You can email, you can do live chat, you can call them on the phone, the telephone. But they will absolutely get you unblocked there so that you're ready to start using this today.
Cool. So it did add the subscriber. It didn't add the tags, but you know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm going to go back in and I'll say the tags weren't added. Fix that. Weren't added correctly. Fix that. Please.
Kill them with kindness.
Yes. This has been a blast. I mean, I could keep going with this forever, but we should probably get to the mailbag.
I was going to say, as you can tell, Chris and I could do this for the next 4 hours. Hey, maybe we'll do a marathon. See how many incredible forms we can build in a day. But again, like if y'all want to learn more about this, first and foremost, go to aweber.com, sign up for an account, and start using it. If you have an account, log in. It's available right now. If you want to ask more questions, come tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time. The link's in the chat there, aweber.com/events. And definitely go to aweber.com/shift and sign up for the newsletter. Because that's where there's so much stuff that we can't fit into the show, and supplemental resources like how to install that code snippet and other information. There's so much stuff constantly that just doesn't make the run of show here that we get to share that way. And it's just, I think it's been a really fun resource. I told Chris today, I learned new stuff from the newsletter that he sent this morning. So Super valuable. What do you say we get ready and jump over to the mailbag?
I would say
Once you
go for
confirm
it
the
after
tags.
one last thing. There's some dogs doing yoga.
You had to create that image.
Yes. Yep.
That's
Inhale, exhale, wag.
oh my gosh.
That's pretty awesome.
Did you give it that prompt?
No, I just
That's
asked it to make an image of dogs doing yoga. That was
Good
it.
Lord, it has a sense of humor. I'm frightened now.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And then the other last thing is I did ask the quiz forum to make sure to double check its work and fix the tag application. And now it has added these tags, which is awesome. Again, if you're trying to prospect, Michael asked for a quiz. We just built it. I think it was Michael, right? We just built the quiz right here. And like, this is something I can turn on for my page right now. And it's live, adding people to my list with tags.
Yeah.
Done.
Pretty amazing.
Okay, time for the mailbag.
Yeah, let's do it. And before, real quick, Kimmy said I had Claude write me an ebook and I'm giving it away. I need to create a landing page in my first sign up form in years. That's awesome. I hope that you use this, and honestly, share it with us. Like, send it, shoot us a note, jessek@aweber.com, and let us know what you create. I'd love to see that.